morning, everybody. Good evening, America. You want to talk because I'm losing my voice.
No, I'll let you suffer. Good morning, everyone, and good evening, everyone, and good middle of the day, all of you in between us.
Or in the dead of the night for England. Yeah. Here we were thinking that this was a great time for England, and it turned out it was 3 a.m. Never mind.
They can watch the replay. Suck it up. So, hi, everyone. Anne and Renata here from Frightfully Good, all the way from Australia, the land that doesn't exist. And today we are going to be talking to you about empaths, though. We are continuing with the ABC of Paranormal Strangeness. We are up to the letter E. Hello, gorgeous Jodie. Thank you so much.
Hi, Jeremy.
And we decided to talk about empaths today. We had a couple of different topics to choose from. We thought we'd try something a little bit different that you all may or may not know about or
Hi, Peter.
understand. Maybe you will want to know more, which means we can do a workshop.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Karen. Good morning. So we'll just wait for one or two more people just to jump on, and we will get started. So we will do some tarot card readings at the end if we have time. But our topic for today is empaths, and if you feel, those that are on at the moment, if you feel that you are an empath or that you have empathic traits, let us know. Say me on your post. That would be awesome.
I feel like I've been run over by a truck. I look like I've been run over by a truck. I don't feel too bad. I had really bad hay fever yesterday, and the the sneezing was so bad that I've actually blown out my voice today. I don't have a sore throat at all, no Rona, but yeah, so please forgive my lack of voice. What's Jeremy? I haven't got around to emailing you details. Yes, we're extremely busy. Oh yeah, we know all about extremely busy. It's okay. It's okay. Have you guys heard of the Jezebel spirit? My middle name, isn't it?
Sounds very exciting, the Jezebel spirit. We've heard about Jezebels. So, Preston, fill us in.
Hello, Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but welcome. When you watch a StreamYard live, sometimes there is a little box that you got to tick for permission to say you give StreamYard permission to know your identity. That way that it will sort of pop up what your name is. Hi Lisa, hi Kaya, hi Alex.
Now we've been threatened with very cold weather here in Australia down the east coast of New South Wales.
Yay!
And you guys will probably laugh at this when we say it'll drop down
very
to
cold
like
weather.
4 degrees or 3 degrees.
But what's that in Fahrenheit?
Oh, I don't know.
Hang on. Hey Google,
Everyone,
what is 4 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
Information from
so mine's
39.
So you'll probably go
39.
we still wear t-shirts.
We're freezing our nipplies off at that sort of temperature.
We're not used to being cold. Anyway.
Hi Jessica, Alicia. You like the new background? We had another one, but it just wasn't coming up. We couldn't get the lighting right, and then we realised we had an overhead light on, which was causing all the issues. So we will try the other one next week when we've got the lights sorted.
Alex from Arizona, you have no freaking idea what hot is. Please,
I don't know. Arizona can get freaking hot. They got desert. We got up to, was it 46 or something here in Australia?
48 or something. There were areas hitting 50.
What's 48 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? I'm sorry for all you clever people who can work this out straight away. 118 degrees.
Oh, piece of cake. That's a normal day.
Hi, here we go. AC Jackie Avuris, hot and muggy in Mississippi. Oh, we so want to get there. Wow. Where are we?
Soon.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, holy moly is right, but it's a different type of heat as well. It's a very dry heat, isn't it?
Over there.
in Arizona,
Yeah,
but here,
here it's just muggy.
Yeah.
You just sweat.
you just can't breathe.
Yeah. I'm, for anyone curious about my t-shirt, I'm actually wearing a mental health t-shirt today. And it says, for anyone that really needs to, choose to keep going. That's my
Hi,
word
Stephen.
for you. Please.
Oh,
please,
Beer Fest, yeah.
choose to keep going.
All right, here's mine.
Let's get weird.
Let's get weird and have a seance. I love my t-shirts. We've got a thing for t-shirts and books. You know what, Jeremy? We would be there in a heartbeat if we could get out of the country.
We're trying.
We might have to come next year. We can get to New Zealand, so we're actually looking at going to New Zealand. Maybe in August. We're just trying to organise tickets to go to that now. For those who are joining us, we're going to start our presentation on empaths very shortly. We're just waiting for the people to come on. Let us know where you're all from, guys. We always love seeing where we've reached in the world, and very excited to know we've got a regular in Japan now, which I think's awesome.
One of the interesting things about this subject and what we're wearing, for example, is one of the traits of an empath is that they're normally dressed in clothes they feel really good in or comfortable in. So they never dress for beauty or standout stuff. They're normally dressed because they need to feel comfortable in their clothes. And we're kind of t-shirts and jeans people, so...
Yes, that is a normal weekend for us. Hey, welcome Patrick from Victoria, Jessica from New Hampshire in the US.
Awesome.
What's your favourite place to investigate in South Australia? We haven't actually, well, I personally haven't investigated anywhere in South Australia, Stephen, but we've got the, sorry, asthma's really bad. The gorgeous Alison and Kaga down there with Haunted Horizons, and we will go down there and investigate with them one day. We will get there.
Hello, Canberra. Hello, Morpeth.
Yeah. Montana.
Awesome.
Hi, Kaya. It's from Australia.
This is so exciting to see all of these different places. It's
Canberra.
beautiful.
All right, okay. All right.
It's cold down there.
So we are halfway through getting our vaccinations. As soon as we have got our second shot, it goes as a thing into our passport to say that we are vaccinated. And then we are hoping that if we travel, that when we come back we can do our 2 weeks isolation in our own home. So I'm happy to do that because I can work my little freckle off at home, which I'm quite happy with. But it's until the Australian government lets us out, we're screwed. But we would love to be guest speakers at some of these events.
Yes, anywhere at all.
Because then it becomes a big tax deduction for us.
Anyway, we are here to talk about empaths.
Right, shall we get on to it?
Yes, we have a little presentation.
We'll have a slideshow for you. Because we're all about slideshows. All right, just need to get to the right one.
Let's go back to the 1980s and do a slideshow.
There we go.
So, as part of the ABC of Paranormal Strangeness, today we are presenting you a bit of information about empathy. What is an empath? So some of you may consider yourselves to be an empath, and some of you might sit on the fence and go, well, I'm not really quite sure what an empath is or is supposed to do. But yeah, I have weird feelings about things, and the more you go into this dialogue about empaths, the more you tend to learn, and I think the more you sort of work out what an empath is and what it isn't, and that there are many, many different types of empaths within the empath world. The one big thing that all empaths have is their ability to sense and feel. That is where sort of the empath vibe comes from. That's where your superpower lies, in your feeling senses. And whether you call yourself this type of empath or that type of empath, you will find that that is the main and major facility that you are able to bring to the world. So empathy is the ability to read and understand people and be in tune with or resonate with others voluntarily or involuntarily of one's empath capacity. And the involuntarily is really important because that can be something that is quite distressing to people, and we'll get a little bit more into that as we go. So empaths have the ability to scan another's psyche for thoughts and feelings of past, present and future life occurrences. Many empaths are unaware of how this actually works and have long accepted that they were just oversensitive to others. And you have to be aware that when you throw this empath word around, that sometimes people will kind of put you into that zone or place where they will go, oh, they're just super sensitive, or they're just oversensitive, or they cry over anything, or, you know, you can't tell them anything, or you can't take them anywhere because they're all over the place, they can't control their emotions. And many other sort of statements like that, and that can be very, very hurtful. Once again, another reason why empaths love to stay at home and run into their caves at any moment's notice. They're not really people persons.
You're definitely an empath.
And yeah, and,
Christy is definitely an empath.
But they are forced, because of the world we live in, to be around people, especially if there is a job that requires you to have to be around people all the time.
Is this resonating with any of you? Let us know. I've got an eye now on the comments happening here so that I can see what's happening. Right.
So as we said, are you an empath? Empathy is the ability to read and understand people and be in tune or resonate with others voluntarily or involuntarily of one's empath capacity.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. What's happened there?
I don't know. Empaths have the ability to scan another's psyche for thoughts and feelings of the past, present and future life occurrences. Many empaths are unaware of how this actually works and have long accepted that they were just oversensitive to others, as mentioned before. Why aren't the pictures coming up?
I don't know.
Never mind. Let's keep going.
I can just pop out and fix it for you if you'd
we
like me to.
No, do not pop out. We had this issue last time.
It's okay, because what I'll do, I'm going to leave that up there for you, but I'm going to pop over to StreamYard and I'm going to open up Canva. She does love it when I start to press buttons.
Yes. We had this issue last week and it went all skewy whiff and all wrong. So I don't know what occurred. So let me just go into and kind of start the discussion while we're waiting about what you feel is your particular method of empathy. Where does your empathy reach into or come from? So is it about...
See, I fixed it.
About sensing, feeling...
Just let me get out of there now, because I've got a feeling that the group can't actually see that yet. So I'm sharing it via... let me just close this one down. And that one down. Sorry guys, bear with me. Share screen, share application. And it's gone. Chrome tab, that's what I want. So let me get over to where you were. You happy now? Tell me how awesome I am, please.
Oh, please, someone tell her she's awesome. Please. Someone put up a post and say, "And you're awesome. You're awesome." Okay, let's backtrack. So empathy can be a blessing and a curse because you feel so very differently from everyone else. And that is, internally you feel differently from everybody else, but you also feel the world very differently to everyone else. And I guess at some point in time we can put empaths on a spectrum, because many people who have special needs fall into this zone of feeling things differently. They feel the world or experience the world differently.
Now, are you happy to take questions as we go?
Yes.
Okay. Jackie wants to know, how can I help others when I get these powerful connections to past, present, future, powerful vibes, and how do I separate myself?
Separating yourself is one thing that you can learn to do, and empaths need to learn how to distinguish what is their emotion and what is somebody else's emotion. So the first thing you do is work out, am I feeling this because this is mine? Does it associate to me in any way, shape or form? Did I feel this 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago? Or am I feeling this from another person? So normally empaths, and we're going to run all over the place here, but that's fine. Normally empaths feel everything in their solar plexus. That is where your empathic radar lies. So it lies in your solar plexus. So sometimes what will happen is that you will get these vibes even before you go to a place, or even before you meet someone. You will get a gut feeling. You will have your tummy rumble. You will have pains in the stomach. You will have knots. All of this sort of stuff will start to occur in your solar plexus. Again, you've got to work out whether you had a bad curry the night before or whether you're actually
Or in my case, I've eaten carbs.
whether you're feeling anything that is associated externally because you are about to go to an event. Something means that you have to go out of your comfort zone into somebody else's zone, which kind of tends to happen with empaths. Empaths close down so that their circle of vulnerability is tiny because that is where they feel comfortable. So you're continually having to stretch yourself to be in somebody else's zone, in other people's areas, and that's what you've got to work out. You've got to work out what is mine and what isn't mine. That's the big question. Once you can sort that out, it becomes a lot easier. How you can help others, sometimes it's not your place to be helping, and empaths have a huge desire to heal the world. Go and hug a tree.
Oh, it's awesome.
So much more simpler
so
than
good.
trying to deal with someone who hasn't asked you for help. Don't interfere in somebody's life by throwing them ideas or suggestions when you are not asked. Because what will happen is that you will be the bane of everyone's existence, and you will be the one that suffers, because people love to find a scapegoat, and they will find it in whoever told them that things were not right.
You told me to do that. It's your fault.
Yeah. So you've got to be really, really careful, and sometimes you have to bite your lip, and sometimes it's just not your place to be helping or assisting, even though you know you can and you would love to. Hold it back and hold it in unless they are asking for help, and then you have to go, well, I think you might consider, not I think you should do, or this is happening, or I'm feeling this. Sometimes it's just best to walk away and go, they've got to sort that out themselves. They're big people, they're adults, that's their shit. Let them go and sort that out themselves.
Okay, and for anyone who would like to buy tickets to Fear Fest, I've just popped that link up there. Jeremy said he loves the unpredictableness of our show and how we react. Hi Robert, hi Kaya, hi, and
Jeremy, we're prepared for everything and nothing. Okay, and everything in between. So we've been doing these things for so long, it just doesn't faze us. Whatever happens,
Kaya
happens.
thinks I'm awesome. Jeremy thinks I'm awesome. Jody thinks I'm awesome. Robert thinks I'm awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Christy thinks I'm awesome. Fiona thinks I'm awesome. There's so many people who think I'm awesome, and you just suck now.
I know. Oh dear.
You are awesome too. Oh, Patricia, I hope everything's okay. A friend of mine, her son was in hospital, said to a girlfriend, we have to go to hospital now.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's that is a particular trait of an empath, and we'll talk about that in a second when we get onto the next slide.
And look,
So let's
we'd
move on to
really
that.
appreciate you guys sharing this live feed. That helps us get our numbers up and costs you nothing. So tag a couple of people, share it onto, I don't know, a buy, swap and sell page. Or
any of your friends.
Yeah.
It makes us look good so that the Paranormal United Network
They think we're
keeps
good.
us.
Yeah, they'll keep
rather
us.
than, geez, they're shitty, those Australians. They're getting 10 people watching. We won't have them on anymore.
Alright, so there are 10 different types of empaths who employ different psychic empathic traits. Here are 10 common ones.
Woohoo!
This is exactly what my notes are. Fantastic.
Awesome. So psychometry, the empathic ability to receive energy, information, and impressions from objects, photographs, or places. So you want to extend on that, or are you happy to scroll?
And I'm going to just look at it from the point of view as a paranormal investigator and how we can make use of these empaths. But it is up to the empath to also take care of their spiritual health and make sure they're not overwhelmed. But psychometry, very simply, as an empath, they can lay their hands on the location, on the spot where someone fell, or take a piece of their jewellery or a piece of clothing that belonged to them, and maybe be able to pick up some impressions from that, which we can then move forward and hopefully get some information on. Yeah?
So interesting question for all of you empaths out there. Check out this photograph in the right hand corner with this gorgeous little lady there with her eyes staring at you wantingly and lusciously. What do you think's going on in her head? Let's see what you say. What do you think she is thinking about as this photograph of her is being taken? This is a really great exercise for you all. You can be as funny or as sincere as you like. So let's have some audience participation.
Oh yes, please, and I'll pop them up as they come in. All right, the next one.
So we have telepathy, the empathic ability to read people's thoughts. This is really hard because you are continuously, I think, asking yourself sometimes, are they really thinking that? Or, you can be hearing the words, but your mind is accepting a different piece of information from elsewhere. And they have done many studies that say, when you are with another person, one of the last things you're actually taking in as information is their words. So in most cases, people are doing a real reconnaissance with their mind and going, how does this person feel to me? How is their body language? Are they looking at me? What's going on? What am I sensing from the auric field? All of this sort of stuff is going on, as well as listening to the words that they are saying. And that can sometimes be the last thing that gives you a mental impression of what's going on for the person that you are with. But telepathy is literally reading somebody else's thoughts, or the ability to read somebody else's thoughts. But I think for many people it is always this questioning of, do I think that they are thinking that, or am I just making it up?
Sorry, I'm just popping up some of the things there. She's looking at the photographer thinking, damn, got to get me some of that. That's Jodie. I'd rather take a selfie. I'd get a better angle. Lots of sadness. Patricia said, leave me the fuck alone.
I thought the same thing, Patricia. Exactly, I thought the same thing.
Hi, Annie. Welcome. You're in here from YouTube. Jeremy says, why am I on this show? I love myself stupid. All right. So telepathy is an interesting one for me for paranormal investigation, because if you are picking up on the thoughts of the people around you, you may perceive that as information coming from the spirit world, and instead of picking up on the actual location, you are picking up on the people around you and their opinions, or they might have some history or knowledge of the location. And this is the whole thing with PSI, And there was this great quote I got: empaths have a heightened sensitivity, and parapsychologists often refer to them as being psi sensitives, which means that they are able to tap into all these abilities. But are they picking up on the location, or are they picking up on an entity that is there, that is giving them information, or are they picking up on the paranormal investigator next to them who's done a whole shit ton research on this location and is thinking, I wonder if Mabel is here, and then the empath next to them's gone, I'm getting the name Mabel, and then the paranormal investigator goes, oh my god, Mabel is here, but it's actually the the
Paranormal investigator
that gave them the information. Blows my mind. But yeah, so there you go, sorry.
So a good way to use an empath on a site is to actually send them in by themselves so that they can read the room, literally read the room, or read the energy at a distance from everybody else.
And I actually like the concept of if you've got several people on the team, and even some who aren't, send them all in to do a walk of the location with a notepad and pen, and they jot down what they've got. So if we're in a jail, they'd be going, cell 7, I pick up on this, blah, blah, blah. And then have no one compare notes until you get them all back together, and then they say, no, I felt this here, I felt that there, and then see if there's any sort of correlation between them all. Right, are we moving on?
Yes, moving on. Mediumship, the empathic ability to feel the presence and energies of spirits. So what we're doing with mediumship is different from the psychometry or the telepathy, because we are tapping into the spirit world and getting messages from those that have passed over, or presences or energies that have not had a body, if you can say that. This is a particular type of empathy, I guess, if you want to call it an empathic ability, which they do. And some people are really, really good at this, and some people are mediumly good. Some people will occasionally get something really strong, a strong vibe through, and some people just seem to be completely open 24 hours a day. And these poor people have real issues with trying to keep grounded and trying to keep sense of their world, because those little voices that they hear just become overwhelming, and this is when we start to get real problems with all of these abilities that we have, where we cannot control or kind of shut the door on it and go, no, I need to live in this world and I need to do my stuff.
All right, Patricia says, I can feel when someone else is thinking about me. Is that normal?
It's
how often?
Yeah, it's normal, but it can become very obsessive. So we have to be careful again of whether we're obsessing about how people feel about us, or are we just generally getting that vibe that that person is looking at me, or that they are talking about me, or that they are they have me on their mind. So just be careful not to obsess about it, because again, that can really get you to a place of vulnerability. And this is what empaths struggle with all the time, being vulnerable to their environment and being vulnerable to the people around them.
Okay, and for me, mediumship in the paranormal investigation is able to gain information from the entity directly that is passed on to the medium, who then passes it on. So they act as a gateway. So you have the spirit world, the medium, and the investigator. So the investigator says, can you tell me your name? Medium's going, can you tell me your name? They go, I'm Fred. Medium goes, oh, they're Fred. So they're sort of like this 1 foot in each world, really, I suppose.
So that's an interesting thing too, Anne. Do you believe that having empaths on your team or mediums on your team would then be a benefit, or does it cloud the investigation?
You have to choose when you are going to use them and not let them take over the whole investigation. You can't base your whole investigation on what one person is telling you. Mm-hmm. I have worked with amazing mediums who have given us valuable information to help the investigation going, and I've also dealt with some who turn it into a show where it's all about them and they're getting possessed every second and running off, and then you've got to drop whatever you're doing, go chase after the person who is possessed, and bring them back. And really, I don't think there was any mediumship going on whatsoever. They just needed to be the centre of attention. So it needs to be someone who is very down-to-earth, grounded, and knows how to control their ability.
We've also had issues where we've had stories from mediums with regard to entities or energies on a site that have really over time compounded and made these energies out to be something really negative when they're probably not. So that's also an issue. You have to look at the mediumship or the empath that you're dealing with and have a look at their biases and whether they can come to a subject with an absolute clear mind, or whether they have a bias already within them that says anything that I'm tapping into is most probably going to be negative, or is most probably going to be a dark energy that is ready to attack and possess, rather than just I'm just tapping into this world and I'm giving you information without saying this, that, or the other.
Kira's come up with something interesting there. You can actually do this exercise where if you sit and stare at people's energy bodies, they always turn to look at you directly, whereas just staring at a person, they could walk right by and you not noticing. Kind of cool. Energetic versus physical. That's really cool. We need to crack on, otherwise we're going to be here for 3 hours.
So we also have physical healing, the empathic ability to feel other people's physical symptoms in your own body, and often the ability to heal, transform and transmute them. So a lot of healers or energy healers do feel that they have a calling to do this. If you do any sort of healing work or study any sort of healing work where you are using your hands, for example, with hands-on healing, it does tend to escalate your empathic skills. So again, because you're focusing and you're sensing vibrations of other people, it does really bring on and escalate your abilities. You may wish to use healing energy or your healing capabilities if you feel you have any. You can also just study it from the point of view of just being even more open to your empathic skills.
And Christy mentioned special syndrome, the I'm special syndrome, and they'd just like to know what that is. That's where whoever is there takes the focus away from the actual investigation and makes it all about them, therefore making themselves special. So that is what that's our little thing that we refer to people as I'm special. The healing is also we're up to that one. And I mean the physical healing, are they able to then pass on healing between spirit world as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, heal spirit and heal humans.
Emotional healing, the empathic ability to feel another person's emotions, and most people have already talked about that, and we did have a question there about feeling somebody else's emotions, and knowing that they may be not feeling well, or are down, depressed maybe, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, even when they're not saying it. So people wear masks all the time, and empaths tend to be able to look behind that mask, whether that person wants them to or not.
Okay, we have a good one here from Patricia. Do you feel exhausted at the end of the day when you have been around a lot of negative people?
Yes.
It's because you're having to put up your psychic barrier to protect yourself from being battered by the negativity of that person. And you can try and lift them, and I'm guilty of this, that I will try and lift people who are negative. But sometimes people just need to sit in that little bit of yuck for a while until they're ready to come out of it. But then you have to protect yourself from it and just go, okay, so this person's in a rut at the moment. I've offered help, that I now need to step back and protect myself. So that's just my little bit. Yes, everyone's going, yes! So we done this one?
Yep.
Oh, okay, sorry. Animal communication.
Animal communication, the empathic ability to hear, feel and communicate with animals. And this is so special. It really is. And there are people out there who class themselves as animal communicators. It's kind of a little bit more than that sense or feeling of I don't want to hurt any animal.
I don't want to eat baby animals.
I don't want to eat baby animals.
Oh, like roast lamb. It's delicious.
No. So it's literally being able to hear or feel what that animal is thinking and be able to express that in human words, which is awesome. Awesome.
I do believe that I have ability in this area. I don't hear what they're thinking, but I seem to sense what they need. I used to do a lot of animal rescue work with dogs and some cats, and I just had this gut instinct of what to do. Like even now when we'll take the dogs for a walk, Roman will be giving them 50,000 million commands. I'm going, you're confusing them. Yeah, just settle, choose what it is you want to work on and stick to it. And yeah, I don't know. Animals always seem drawn to me. I'm special. Oh, Elise, you watched The Space Between. Oh my God, you watched all 4 episodes? That's like 3.5 hours of watching in one hit. We currently have a TV series out called The Space Between, which is available on 7 Plus, free to air in Australia. Those of our beautiful people in America or Japan or wherever, you will need a VPN to be able to watch it. But it's called The Space Between, and we're really proud of it. Absolutely super proud of it. All right, so animal communication, let's move on.
And nature, the empathic ability to read, feel and communicate with nature and with plants. Now this is awesome. Again, a very specialised form of empathy. And of course there are people out there who really sense and feel their connection with the earth and can feel and sense whether anything is going on or what needs to be done, or even, you know, if the trees are talking to you, well, yes, they are talking to you. You do get a sense of what that energy is. And yeah, there's a lot more work being done in these sort of areas. There are lots of books about how trees communicate with each other. So I guess if they're communicating with each other, they can also communicate with us too, if we allow them to.
Patricia is saying that she works in mental health sector and she feels their pain. At the end of the day, she's exhausted.
Yeah.
So you need to find a way to put a bit of a barrier up. I know that it is important to tap in and feel what they're going through, but you also need to be able to withdraw and protect yourself.
Yeah.
I have a little crystal I carry in my pocket, and whenever I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, I just put my hand in my pocket and I just rub that crystal, and it gives me, it doesn't matter what crystal it is, it's just, I think that sensation of the rubbing on it just calms me down a bit.
Yeah.
Next.
Yep. Is there a next? Yes. Oh, geomancy, the empathic ability to read the energy of places and of the land. Geomancers can feel the energies of the earth, such as ley lines. They can also get headaches, pain and anxiety before earthquakes or other disasters occur anywhere on the planet. Geomancy is a big one. Who's having issues with Mercury retrograde at the moment? Yay! And people will say, oh, Mercury retrograde. Well,
would this be the moon as well, when you get pulled out by the moon?
What a lot of shit that is. And there are people and empaths who really are just so connected in a wide energetic kind of sphere to so many things. It does include the moon, the earth, ley lines. Again, you know, when we think about our ancestors, their temples, their ritual places were all built on strong lines or strong energy lines all over the world. And you know, how did they pick those particular spots? They felt through them. They didn't have equipment or radar, scanning radar, where they could go down to the earth and go, geez, there's a whole lot of quartz under here, for example, or whatever. This is a great, powerful place for me to have a sacred space. They really just felt into the earth. And I think many people have just got that ability that they have collected in their DNA from their ancestors to allow them to really feel what's going on.
Okay, and yes, Nikki Lee, is it possible to tap into multiple types of empathy? Yes, absolutely. And you should explore some of them, see what you've got. Jodie, best way to ground yourself through the earth, for me it's to kick off my shoes and go and stand in the grass and wiggle my toes in the dirt, or go down to the beach and stand in the water, or go hug a tree.
Yeah, there's something to be said for tree huggers, and I know that there are lots of people that will go, yeah, but it is sometimes awesomely the best thing that you can do, especially when you are overwhelmed, to go and connect in some way with the ground or the earth, because it does just dissipate a lot of that real staticky, prickly energy that you have picked up, and that's what you're trying to get rid of.
Patricia's saying, I should be studying, but this is so much more interesting. Oops. We won't tell.
So, precognition, the empathic ability to feel when something important is about to happen. Often this can be a feeling of inexplicable dread or doom. It can also be about feeling when something awesome is about to happen, when you get that sensation that something is about to shift or change in your world. You may not be able to put your finger on it. It is just this feeling of expectation. And our body registers these things normally prior to things happening. Now, that could be a day before, it could be an hour before, it could be 5 minutes before, but it has been tested and known that this does occur. So our body is this radar that sits in our environment and is continually testing to see whether we are safe, whether we can live through this, whether we can move forward, whether we should run away and hide in a cave, or put a blanket over us, the blanket of protection.
I love the sheet of protection.
And so the more you tune into your body and allow your body to tell you how you are really feeling and follow that, especially if you are an empath, the more you're going to learn to tap into your abilities and trust them.
But I also would like to add here that that impending sense of dread or doom can actually be a physical symptom of, I think it's a heart attack. So don't ignore it. Also look at the other physical symptoms that are going on in your body at the time and keep an eye on it. Claircognizance. Knowing.
Yeah, the empathic ability to feel what needs to be done in any circumstance, often accompanied by a feeling of peace and calm, even in the midst of a crisis. Oh, you want someone like this to be on your team, honestly, because they just take control, and they don't take control in a bullying sort of way, or
unlike me.
I know everything and you know nothing. This is about this real sense of being able to control a situation, and they feel for everyone around them this center of peace and calm, that no matter what is happening, they have absolute control. And you just throw your trust at them. You go, yes, this person, I want this person on my team, because no matter what is going on, they will always be there for me.
All right.
Mums and dads are really good at this with little kids. They have, and that's when your abilities also, bless you, come to the fore when you have little ones and you just want to protect them with everything that you have.
Oh, I've got the old lady tissues out. They smell like frangipanis.
And you really just exude this peace and calm, because that's what you require, that's what you need to keep your children peaceful and calm. Kids are great at empathy. One of their skills is to read the room and to work out whether things are peaceful and calm. And you'll probably note, especially when you go to parties, that when there's one kid or two kids that are really fractured and frantic, everyone becomes fractured and frantic really, really quickly. So it's like that energy has now just multiplied and infested every other child that there is, and you just want to run away.
Annie says, I have had dreams where something will happen in the dream, and within a week or two, it happens in real life. Could this mean something?
Yes.
So that could be your precognience that is kicking in there and giving you a premonition. My suggestion is have a little diary, a little notebook by the side of your bed. If you have one of those dreams, jot it down, date it, and keep a little journal of what's happening.
Or just get another slide when you're ready.
Oh, sorry. I'm reading comments.
So experiences that normal empaths will have. Let me go to that. So these are some of the common experiences that an empath might feel or have during the day, and it is acute senses, so senses of smell, taste, sight, touch or hearing, like 100% amplified. Acute awareness of the feelings of those around them and feeling deeply for those in pain or suffering. If you've had a really, really bad day and you want to come home and relax, probably the worst thing in the world is for you to turn on the news and then watch the news and get a double dose of all the horrible things that are happening in the world through the news, because, gee, they don't tell you too many good stories. They tell you a lot of rubbish stories. So that's really, really hard to take. So maybe if you have had a really bad day of being with people, you might want to come home and just have a shower, which is an awesome way to de-stress, or go for a walk, or do a little bit of meditating, or whatever that might be, just to sort of get you back into the zone that is you. You might feel that you are easily hurt by others. There is an avoidance of conflict where possible, preferring to keep things harmonious. You might be easily startled by noise, easily moved to tears because of deep feeling, nervousness in crowded situations. People feel safe around you and are able to talk to you easily, so you are a shit magnet, as we call it. Everyone loves to come and tell you their stories because they will dump on you because it feels good for them. And there's a part of you that initially will say this feels good, and then there's a point of no return where your brain goes, I've had enough. I've had enough of this information. I can't stop now. So even complete strangers will come up and seem to talk to you, start a conversation. You go, huh? Get me out of here. So animals and children love and are attracted to you. You're easily affected by the weather. Your greatest gift is that you perceive from the heart and with the heart, and you are usually a blessing to be around because you are nurturing and caring. Now, music and harmony are very important to you. You can lose yourself completely while listening to music that resonates with you. So again, this is a great tool for empaths, finding music that just stimulates that part of you that says, now I am caring for myself.
Yeah. Also, empaths have to be careful of not freaking themselves out by not wanting to rock the boat. And this is one of the things that I used to suffer from, is I couldn't stand any form of conflict whatsoever, and I would be tying myself up in knots, trying to make sure that everybody was happy. Everyone's happy. Please, nobody be upset. Sometimes we just have to remove ourselves from the situation and let shit fly so that it can resolve.
I think children who are very empathic have a hard time with all of this because they just cannot understand from their point of view, with a child's mind, what they are going through and what they are feeling. I had a pretty rough time at school all the time because I was bullied, but I think from that...
I wore glasses and was overweight. I had no hope.
Yeah, so yeah.
And I thought I was a horse up until I was in high school, so... I used to run around the playground going, no! Seriously, I did. And I'd gallop. And I'd get the skipping ropes and I'd put it around my neck and under my shoulders, and people say, giddy up, Ed! So maybe that's why I've got an affinity to owls. Have I shared too much?
Oh my God, we've lost everything.
No, they love it. They love it. It's all good. We share so much. But we've got to keep moving because we're going to not get to our cards.
Some of the characteristics, and we were talking about this as children, are extreme shyness, avoidance of public places, of being overweight, shielding and protecting yourself, not speaking up, not speaking out, and
I've stopped doing that now.
often being bullied because bullies pick up on empaths like they have a target on their forehead.
Flashing light!
Yes!
Pick on this one!
Yes, pick on this one.
I can get my daily dose of power from this one.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's really interesting if you have kids who are showing empathic traits to try and teach them especially what is their stuff and what is somebody else's. The recognition of what is yours and what is somebody else's is really, really important. Okay, what else? Is there anything else before we go on to some readings?
Christy seems to think I have a fetish. I was only in primary school. My God, I was only 11. I've already talked about this as we've gone through, so that's fine. Oh, who are those ugly mugs?
Oh, I don't know.
God, I look so much fitter there. Anyway, I don't know, I look alien. That's a bit weird. Thank you for watching.
Don't go anywhere, we've got some readings.
Yeah, we're going to get onto some readings. Let me get out of this screen.
So we hope you enjoyed that little chat on empaths. Of course, there is a lot more to talk about, and there's different techniques of cleansing, clearing your space, or looking after yourself when it comes to the type of empathy that you have, and that can be done another day. That's a whole workshop, which we will be doing. Everyone loves that, the discussion on empathy. It is something that a lot of people really resonate with and have difficulty with. So anyone that has, anyone who has difficulties in this is always kind of seeking out information on how to assist and help themselves and recognise themselves in that situation.
Yes, we do run the Australian School of Ghost Hunting. How long has it been going now? About 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, we kicked it off, I think it was before COVID hit. And then once COVID hit, we ran quite a few courses. We do them as cheap as chips, as they like to say, and it stays on there for as long as Facebook will allow it to stay on there as a course. You get admitted into a private group, and then we do some live classes, and it normally runs for 1 week, 2 weeks. I think 3 weeks was the longest.
We had a great online
we did a paranormal conference
online.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be something
like
we could do with the pun groups actually this year in Australia.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
An online paranormal conference with all of the Paranormal United
our people
network.
will talk to your people.
Yeah. That will be interesting.
All right, so now this is our readings. So if you've got a question, please ask it now. And we've got Patricia is keen for a root. So we'll get on to Patricia first.
Patricia, I like it. You just get straight to the point, my darling, which is awesome. Now, there are two particular questions that you have there. Let's see what we can do. So I'm taking the first card off.
Now, she is a very talented tarot reader and gifted medium psychic. I just make it up as I go along.
So, Patricia, actually, you have the star card, so there is a really good opportunity for you to meet a man or get a root, whichever one you would wish. And check this out. She is completely naked. Whoa. Now, that's not suggesting that that is what you have to do to get this, but it is about maybe being a witsy little bit vulnerable rather than showing that strength or that strong side of yourself, but just allowing yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable or standoffish or stand back when you come to communicating with others. You can be a very, very powerful force of nature, Patricia, and that can scare people off.
And as I said, I read from the Naughty Oracle cards and I make it up as I go along. So your card, Patricia, today says, head shut the feck up and heart-fecking lead. Now, that to me says that your head is being a little bit picky over who you'd like to have a root with and the type of men that you would like to meet. So maybe you need to let your heart examine these buffets of men that are available, and let your heart choose which man that might be good for the root rather than your head. Love, naughty spirit.
When in doubt, just cover them with strawberries and cream, Patricia. It'll be fine.
Is that a metaphorical one or a literal one?
Literal.
Yes, Jeremy, you can ask a question for a friend.
Jeremy says, my friend Sydney.
Oh, your friend Sydney.
If she will have another child. Okay, well, you know what needs to happen there, Jeremy. That's all I can say. Don't need a card for that. You need a lesson in
how to make babies.
How to make babies, yes.
Get your head out of the fecking clouds and get your feet on the fecking ground. That is a reality check there. I think that maybe you need to actually stop and think, are you ready for this? Are you capable of doing this? And just have a real think about that before you launch into it, so to speak.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Your friend Sydney is looking for lasting relationships and communication with someone. She may also feel feel that their boat has sailed, which is all of this particular card, where they're kind of going, I've been there, done that, I think my time is over and I'm worried that it is. So this is also talking to that particular person and saying, look, if this is what you really want, then you need to choose it and own it, rather than go, oh, look, it's done, dusted, all over, I can't do it. Whatever the mind thinks, the body will produce.
All right, we are now on to Annie, who is my decision to go forward towards the hairstyling barbering career the right decision for me? Ooh. Oh, wow, Annie. My daughter is a hairdresser, and she's just gone out now as rent-a-chair. Mind you, I'm on baby watch at the moment. She was due 2 days ago. She's not regretting her decision at all.
So Annie, styling and barbering is really, really hard work. As you can see with this beautiful person here, they are holding a whole bunch of things in their hand. Now, there are good associations with this card and bad associations with this card. One of the good things is that as long as you feel that you are totally in control of the situation and you are literally doing everything, then everything will be fine. On the other hand, if you are literally doing everything, you may be stressing yourself out as the time comes and you go into it, and overworking to try and compensate. So if you go into this and it's a good feel to do just that, Annie, be sure that you are pacing yourself, and that if you are doing things that are not in your zone of genius, let them go and be done by somebody else, and you spend your time doing the things that are really important.
And don't forget that straight after our show tonight on the Paranormal United Network, there is another show with a surprise guest, Philip Wyatt and Blake Price. They're going to join us in question and answer tonight as we discuss how psychic or medium abilities help with technology and equipment. So that will be on right after us. And my message for you is you need to be your own fecking hero. So stop waiting for everyone else to come and solve your problems. You've got to solve your own problems. Work out whether this is truly what you love or is this just a passing fancy. We need to crack on and get... what's this one? This is huge. Hi, Kira. We are having a whole house massive purge sickness this week, last week and a bit now. Yesterday I walked out the back to a headless baby doll having been dug up. Oh, the head was left gifted about a month or so back in the same manner. Would love a card on how to climb out and restore our good health. I gather you've got a dog or something.
Look, I was listening to something this morning, and I want to tell you this bit of information because this is what is standing out for me the moment I read that. Have a party. Have a party, invite all of your friends,
And
when
spread
you're not
the
all sick.
sickness throughout all of them.
When you're not all sick. And for 24 hours, 48 hours, 2 days, do things in that home that will just really give a surge of positive energy into the place. So play really great music, enjoy really good food, really good company, watch movies that are really uplifting, or play songs and music that are really uplifting. That will kill off really any negative energy that is there. No more smudging, no more any of that. Bring joy and energy back into the place with all of your best friends, and that will really move all the trash out.
And this has to be our last reading because we've got to get off for the next show. Head, shut the feck up and heart fecking lead. You're overthinking everything. Stop worrying so much about this. This is just sickness. There is nothing there that you need to worry about. Let your heart have a little bit of fun. Get out there and start looking for the good things in every day instead of worrying about the things that might be a little bit icky. All right, lovelies, we need to get off so the next show can get on. Thank you all for joining us. If you've enjoyed it, please give us lots of hearts right now, because then Facebook knows that we love. Please subscribe to our pages. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen to our podcast, True Hauntings, and share the bejesus out of it. Love yous all.
See you on the dark side.
See you on the dark side.